It's not announced yet, but I don't care. I'm telling anyway.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Martijn of Delain, thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate it. I know these are busy times for you guys. The long-awaited return, let's call it that way for a second, is coming at us as we're speaking a little bit under a month from now. But I know how busy you are. Does that mean that you're that you get lost into the schedule and it's just like work, or do you allow yourself to kind of get excited and just enjoy the moment as well?
No, I allow myself to get excited and go with the flow. I think that's very, very important.
I don't expect anybody watching this interview that doesn't know what happened to Delain in the last 3 years. Just in case, obviously, you know, there was a decision made to basically part ways with everybody in the band, and then new people were brought on board. Some of the people brought on board have a past in Delain, others are brand new. As you look back on that, you know, you mentioned, you know, you learn as you go on. What would you say in this whole process has been your biggest lesson?
To stay true to yourself, to stay true to your heart. I think I took things too far in this process, trying to keep going with the previous lineup. I think I how should I say, compromised too much in trying to make it work, because I wanted it to work so badly, and therefore you tread on terrain where that is not healthy and not good.
Sure, everybody except yourself is new, but a lot of the attention is going to go to Diana. There's no way around it.
Of course.
I know that she has more than her fair share of experience in the music industry. Coming in, however, as somewhat of an unknown into the symphonic metal genre, and filling the shoes of Charlotte. We all know people are going to compare, people are going to react in a certain way. Were you able to give her some coaching? I mean, I'm gonna say that the vast majority of the reactions have been maybe preempted with, "Oh, I'll miss Charlotte, but hey, Diana is looking pretty good," or I should say, not looking, sounding pretty good. I think it's been pretty positive, the reactions so far. But you don't know how that's going to turn out when you first announce a new singer after all these years.
No, you don't.
Did you have some coaching moments with her in advance, like, hey, brace yourself because this might become a bit of a storm?
Yeah, not a coaching, but just good conversations. And I really talked to her about it. And of course, there are multiple examples of acts and bands where this happened in the past. Look at Nightwish, for example, and people even now are still comparing to Tarja or to Annette, and so you're gonna have that anyway. But I already noticed really quickly how mentally healthy Diana is coping or handling approaching this kind of stuff. She has a cooking channel on Facebook. That's her livelihood. She said it's social media. So I think she's better at social media than I am. She's a very courageous woman as well. So I really respect her for that.
it feels to me that this whole album is a little bit of a self-discovery journey. Not always the most pleasant journey. I have a degree in ancient Greek and Latin, so when you call out, Deimos and Phobos, I know what you're talking about. We're talking about anger, we're talking about fear. There's, from a lyrical perspective, we'll get to the music in a second, but from a lyrical perspective, there's a bit of negativity on this album. Are you okay?
Yes, no. But the funny thing is, I'm not a lyricist because I never write lyrics. In this case, my wife wrote the lyrics.
Is she okay?
She is totally okay. Even more, Robin, my wife, she's a native speaker. First of all, she's from America. Mm-hmm. She's from California, and she absolutely loves to work with language and with words and fantasy. Metal, those are all, so she has a really different approach than Charlotte, for example. Charlotte, I think Charlotte was a brilliant lyricist, and she had a unique way of writing lyrics, but in a completely different way. And Robin did it more in a fantasy way, and Robin mixed fiction to make things more dramatic and more extreme with real life experience. So parts of these things are fictional and parts of these things are non-fictional.
How did you go into, when you were writing the music? Because this album is going to be an album that people will talk about for a long, long time. It has to be a bit of a statement. Did everything still come organic to you, or do you then go into like, hey, this is gonna have to make an impact, so I have a bit of a blueprint what I want to create? How is that for you?
No, it's very organic because I don't believe in writing analytically, so to say. So
right.
What I do in the end, if I have the collection of songs, I look what is the best flow on the album. So the last song on the album is not the last song written, or the first song on the album is not the first song written. So I aim for a flow that you go from more soft and more poppy to more dramatic and more orchestral in the end. So it's kind of this way up with one exception. That's the Question and the Curse, because I did feel it was necessary to introduce people to the new lineup. Right. So it's kind of this flow that goes like this and then it goes up again. So that was the aim. But with the writing itself, also the writing happened partially already before the split with the previous lineup, and partially also with the new lineup. So it's really an album that bridges this whole transformation to the new lineup. And also, thing is, the biggest misconception there is on social media is that people think that I decided to make Delain a project and then kick everybody out. But that's not the case. For me, it was also a journey into see, okay, now the people are gone. What am I gonna do? Is this the end, or am I gonna continue as a project? And first I thought, let's continue as a project. So then you also think about guests for the songs,
right?
And then later on, when people from the previous times of Delain return, then it became clear. Oh no, we can be a band because there is enough DNA present to continue as a band. So that does influence the songs, of course.
I saw more than a few people react to Moth to a Flame with like, oh, is there some Journey in here? Is that something? Is there truth to that, or are people just seeing ghosts? But if there's truth to that, who is the big 80s AOR fan?
Oh, I loved 80s. But Diana loves that kind of stuff as well. And Guus, our co-writer, does as well. So so we have a broad spectrum of songs we love, and this is one of those that, you might even call it a bit cheesy, and some might call it kitsch. But it's good to sometimes look up the edges and yeah, I just love this sketchy stuff and this 80s vibe and yeah.
You mentioned that some older people coming back. Another return to Delain is Glenn Arthur with the artwork. One of my always favorite things about Delain release has always been Glenn's artwork has always stood out and has always been really, really beautiful. So very happy. I can only imagine that he's back on board, if you will.
Yeah, no, and actually it's thanks to Charlotte, because Charlotte introduced me to the work of Glenn Arthur, and Charlotte, as you know, is very much into
that was with We Are the Others, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yes, and it made me fall in love with his work, and there was stuff that I thought was too sweet, but there was also stuff that I thought was so apt and it's so original, this style for this kind of music. You don't see it anywhere else.
Right.
And so I contacted Glenn, and he was really helpful and accommodating, and here we are. Yeah, so it's fantastic.
Yeah. Not the last artwork of Glenn, I'm sure we've seen as Delain continues on. Fantastic. Now, I think we've seen also the cover artwork repurposed for some tour or show announcements, if I remember correctly. Maybe a bit of a segue to. You're gonna have a very busy year, let's be honest. There's gonna be a lot of shows. I know you've been waiting for a long time. You've played shows already, obviously, but I think the first single was released. Was that in July or in August? I forget at this point. But
in August, I think. Yeah, in August.
So I know that you're eager to get back out there. There's gonna be festivals. There's gonna be your own headline shows. What can you tell us, to everybody that's watching this video, of your live show plans for 2023?
Oh yeah, good one. No, indeed, I can't wait to hit the road again. Part of, I got into a burnout before the split, and part of the reason was that we did so many shows. So I really wanted to take that a little bit down, because we had years we played 100 shows a year. I'm not going to do that anymore. So that's another thing I learned. But I still love touring, and I'm not going to do 2 shows either, because I want, to have decent tours. So this year we will start a bit easy because of post-COVID. There are a lot of bands out there touring. And besides that, also I want the new lineup to really get into the touring again and give them the space to get used to that together. So this year we will do about, I think, 30 shows, something like that. Not everything is announced yet. We have an American and Canadian tour also coming up. It's not announced yet, but I don't care. I'm telling anyway. And then next year we're going to do more touring, and I think Delain eventually will do 50 shows a year or something. So we can still tour pretty decent, do good tours, but let's keep it in a healthy balance. Yeah.
Martijn, exciting times. I'm sure that you can't wait to see the album fully released and have everybody, digest everything. There's gonna be a lot said and done about this record still. There's no way around that. But I wish you all the best in the release cycle and with all those upcoming shows. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.